Hey, hey. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Come on, don't act like California folk now. Where all my down south folk at? You know how we do it, man. We always acknowledge. I just went back to Louisiana in June, right? And the same people I grew up with still on that porch, and everybody who drives by, guess what they do? They still doing that. I was raised that way too, so when we say good morning, we still say something like, good morning back, right? So good morning, everybody. Good morning. What's so good about this morning? We're here, right? The Most High God watched over us as we slept, right? We didn't have a clue what was going on around us. We were unconscious, right? But man, we woke up in our right minds this morning, right? Stopped by and touched us with a finger of love. Remember that? And started us on this beautiful day that he has made, and we must rejoice and be glad in it. I'm so happy to see everybody. Give yourselves a great big round of applause. Life is so very fragile. It's super short. But I thank God that he put it in his plan and his purpose for us to be here on this day, September 13th, 2025. Please, everybody, come on in, take a seat. My name is Kevin Nash from Radio Free 102.3 KJLH. Now stop me if I'm lying. Is KJLH the best station on the planet or what? I mean, listen, be honest with me now. Don't lie to me on this 13th day of September now. Am I lying or what? Listen, I listen to a lot of different radio stations across the country. Ain't nobody coming close to 102.3 Radio Free KJLH, right? Truly, this is the best station on the planet. Well, welcome to the KJLH Men's Empowerment Summit. Good to see everybody back here again in 2025. We got some great things in store for you guys today. I am not here to entertain anybody at all. We have no entertainers here at all. It's all about learning as much as we can, growing as much as we can to elevate, to expand, to grow, right? And this is what it's all about. I know how we are. We like music. We like to skip. We like to dance and this and that. But today is not a day for that at all. If the things of God interest you, I'm going to be leading a Bible study today at 12:45 in Ballroom A. Ballroom A. And I know we have a lot of ladies, so let's acknowledge the ladies. Thanks to the ladies for coming out, too. But I hate to disappoint the ladies today. So the Bible study will be for men only, all right? It's going to be for men only. So I know you guys are disappointed in that. Just want to make sure that we're able to speak frankly to the men, you know. So like I said, if you're interested in the things of God, make sure you join us today at 12:45 for that. Let me give thanks to our sponsors, too. And you can give them a great big round of applause. J.P. Morgan Chase. We want to thank AARP. I got my card. Raise your hand if you got yours, right? Getting my discounts. And the Chicago School. Give them a great big round of applause as well. We want to thank you for your continued support for our community and for your help and partnership in helping to help underwrite the cost of putting on the KJLH Men's Empowerment Summit. Let me also introduce the KJLH staff. If you work for KJLH, please stand. Please stand. If you work for KJ, well, we're all standing anyway because we're still working. So give them a great big round of applause. And a very special thanks and props going out to Ron Turner for spearheading the KJLH every year, the KJLH Men's Empowerment Summit. We just don't give that brother enough credit. All right, so we can't do this thing properly without kicking this thing off in prayer. Y'all ready to pray together? All right, prayer. Dr. Jawane Hilton, he's councilman, city of Carson, District 1, and also Bishop Brister Memorial Baptist Church. Please come and give us a word of prayer.
First of all, I want to give you greetings on behalf of the 100,000 residents in the city of Carson. We're excited to have you guys here today to be empowered, all right? And I'm pastor of the Brister Baptist Church in the city of Compton. Bow our heads with me really quickly. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and for this gathering of men at the KJLH Empowerment Summit. We ask for your wisdom, your strength, your guidance, to rest on every speaker, leader, and participant. May this summit not just inspire, but transform lives, equipping men to lead their families, their communities, their workplace, and their faith. Lord, raise up men of integrity, vision, and courage. Heal the broken places, renew weary spirits, and ignite a fire to walk in purpose. Let connections be made today, become lifelong partnerships for growth and empowerment. And we declare that every man leaves here stronger, clearer, and more committed to his calling. Bless the summit and let your hand and favor cover it from beginning to the end. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen.
Did we give God enough praise today? Let's give God some praise and give him some thanks. Thank you, Father, for watching over us and keeping us. So I see a lot of gaps. So if we can kind of squeeze in, because I see people on the side rails trying to sit down, so we can just kind of squeeze in and make some room. I went to Jamaica last year, and I got on one of those buses in Jamaica, right? And you guys been on one of those before? How they cram everybody in? There was literally no room on the side of men. So the bus driver was like, make yourself small, make yourself small. I'm like, huh? So I'm gonna ask you guys to small yourselves, all right? Small yourselves a little bit and squeeze in so we can make enough room for the ones sitting on the side. Plus two, we got a whole bunch of breakout sessions today. So if you're wondering where to go, there's a QR code. So when you walk out, you see all the signs with KJLH Men's Empowerment Summit. Just scan that QR code, everybody, and you'll find out exactly where your breakout session is today. All right, at this time, this man is a true public servant. Every time I get an Amber Alert or even think about the fight for reparations here in California, we got to give full credit to this public servant. We're talking about Senator Steve Bradford, everybody is here. Come on, Senator.
Thank you. Let's give Andre Russell a round of applause. And let's give yourselves a round of applause, because you could have been anywhere this morning and you've chosen to be here in making this a priority. So I'm going to give you a round of applause, because what you're going to hear today is very, very important. And we have to give a shout out. We couldn't do it without KJLH Radio Free. Give them a round of applause for everything that they do, being the voice in our community, keeping us informed. But today is about not just men, but the women who are here too. We couldn't do it without the ladies. They say it's a man's world, but we all know a woman makes things work, okay? So we need you. I want to thank our sisters for being here, because we couldn't do it without you. We couldn't do it without our mothers, our wives, our sisters, our girlfriends, whatever. Is Miss Pollard here? Okay, because she texted me twice and said I didn't return her call. I did, and I had 2 seats for her. So anyway, I just want to make sure she had her seats, because she's going to be here today. But today is about enlightenment. Today is about being inspired. But today is more about being empowered. Learning where our strengths are, learning what our weaknesses are and how we overcome them. You're going to hear about not only your physical health, but your mental health. Vitally important. We're going to learn about generational wealth. And we don't pass generational wealth on through cars and jewelry. We pass it on through land. And we should be aware of that. It's not about the money in the bank. It's about land. When you look at the richest folks in this country, it's about land. And that's what keeps them sustained from generation after generation after generation. And we're too quick to sell our property when we have property. So you're going to learn about that. You're going to learn so much today at so many workshops. As Andre stated, it's a Bible study for men. You're going to learn your spiritual awareness and being in tune with something greater than yourselves. We're going to learn about government and the role that we play on a regular basis. So I'm excited about this 9th Annual Men's Empowerment Summit. Again, you could have been anywhere, but you've chosen to make this a priority. I think this is going to be the best use of your day. It's going to probably be the highlight of your week, and we hope it's the highlight of your year, because you're going to go back into your community and share all that you've learned today. You're going to share it with your family. You're going to share it with your neighbors. You're going to even share it with some of the strangers that you don't know. You know, people that you don't know, I should say. So it's an amazing day. I've been here for 9 years. We couldn't do it also without Cal State Dominguez Hills. Give them a round of applause for opening up this campus. Their amazing president, Dr. Thomas Parham, who will be leaving us soon, but he's still making an impact every day until he leaves this place. He has transformed this university. How many folks went to Cal State Dominguez Hills? Yeah, Toros. I went to Dominguez Hills too. And I wouldn't be standing here today as an elected official if it wasn't for what was instilled in me on this campus. So today, again, is about enlightenment. It's about inspiration, but more importantly, it's about empowerment. So I'm excited about the workshops. I'm excited about, you're going to have a dynamic keynote speaker in John Hope Bryant, a LA guy, right here, one of our own, who has done tremendous work in the philanthropic and nonprofit space for the last almost 30 plus years. So be prepared to learn and glean as much information as possible, because he's going to be dropping knowledge. So I'm just going to say thank you for this opportunity. Am I supposed to introduce anybody else, Andre? I'm giving it back to you. Huh? Huh? I'm sorry, Kevin Nash. I'm sorry. That's all right. Y'all don't even look alike. So, my good friend, Kevin Nash.
Oh, now we friends, huh? Okay, so that's it. It's all good. It's all good. And I like to stay under the radar too, so you guys don't hear much from me at all, even see my face, right? I kind of like it like that. You know what I mean? I do. But let me bring out my dear sister. Listen, this lady wakes you up in the morning, right? With the Steve Harvey Morning Show, right? Very, very informative when it comes to the LA fires, things concerning the community. She has a heart for the community too, and I love her so much. My dear sister Ade Lamar is here, everybody. Give her a great big round of applause. She's got a very special presentation. I love you, brother. Love you too, man.
Hello, my brothers. Oh, no. Rise up, my brothers. Good morning, my brothers. Yes. Your sisters are here with you today. We are here with you today. There is something that we want to do for this gentleman who has transformed this university. He has brought so much funding to this university. He has brought so much energy to this university. He has done what no other could. This year is our first annual KJLH Vanguard Award. A vanguard is someone who protects, who serves, who opens the doors for others to follow. And that is what the next gentleman coming to the stage has done. He is extraordinary in what he does, he's brilliant, and he allows others to shine. Every student feels like he's a part of their family, and he is. Now, he claims he's going to retire, but we're not going to let him off the hook so fast. He has been amazing to us. KJLH, we're so proud that he's a part of our family. He allows us to come and use this magnificent university each year. Give us a big round of applause for that. He has been a recipient of our KJLH Proven Achievers Award. He was not there to accept. So this is so amazing that he is here today to accept our first ever KJLH Vanguard Award Dr. Thomas A. Parham. Surprise! Oh, there it is. It's two pieces. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna let you hold it. It's two pieces. Another big round of applause for the doctor, Dr. P. Would you like me to take it off the stage for you? Okay. Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Wow. Talking about trying to surprise a brother. I appreciate y'all and love you too. Good morning. Welcome to this day's 2025 KJLH Empowerment Summit. As the day mentioned, I am Dr. Thomas Parham, your president of this California State University, Dominguez Hills. And we are proud to be really one of the summit's partners. So on behalf of our faculty, our staff, senior administration, students, nearly 120,000 alumni, and the many voices you will hear from today, I'm excited to welcome you to the 2025 edition of what promises to be an informative, inspirational, and uplifting experience. Y'all ready to be uplifted? That don't sound convincing to me. Y'all ready to be uplifted? That's what I'm talking about. Now, I want to also bring greetings to you from the California State University system and our Chancellor, Dr. Mildred Garcia. She is the first Latina sister to ever champion and lead the 22 campuses of the California State University system, which, by the way, is still the largest system of public higher education in all of America. We take a backseat to nobody up in here doing that work. And I say that because you can find lots of higher ed institutions around the country. I've been in some of them. I started out in the Ivy League as a professor at the University of Pennsylvania. If you ever get on Jeopardy, by the way, and they ask you who was the first African-American academic psychologist the University of Pennsylvania ever hired in its 242-year history after it was founded by Ben Franklin in 1742, you are looking at that brother right now. And then I went to the University of California, Irvine, back home, where I did my undergraduate work and graduated and got trained by the great black psychologist Joe White. But then I came to the Cal State system in Dominguez Hills, and I saw the contrast. Because those other institutions I was in pride themselves on, aren't we wonderful because we only admit the top 3, 4, 5, 10% of our folks. I need you to hear me well, black people, brown people, yellow, white people, all members of humanity. I need you to hear me well. At Cal State University, Dominguez Hills, and the Cal State system, we will never judge our worth on selectivity ratios alone. We judge our worth on how many people we can admit and how many lives we can transform and graduate. That's what we do. Now, let me not be too long. I don't want to be too long because we got one of my heroes coming up, and John Hope Bryant, and another hero of mine, Karen Bass, coming. But I got to celebrate my KJLH family. They just get up and kind of carry on as if this is normal. Ain't many people in the community like KJLH. Now, I don't know about the old school folk in here, but I've been rolling with KJLH since we used to spell out kindness, joy, love, and happiness. I still got kindness, joy, love, and happiness in my heart, and I'm grateful not just for the musical entertainment that they provide, but for the griot and the voice that they provide, the news and the messaging about that, because they are always in our community making a difference Give it up for KJLH. Now, we're here to interrogate the question this year. And our theme, Rise Up. Somebody know what I'm talking about. See, in my mind, if we're going to consider the notion of rising up, we have to examine this notion across multiple domains. And I believe that we have to explore rising up within the domains of vulnerability, where we as men of African descent and the women in our lives find ourselves more susceptible to being wounded by the assaults on our bodies, our intellects, and our humanity. So these domains of vulnerability include educational, medical, economic, political, and even spiritual, to name a few. But the strategies you will hear from our speakers today that emanate from their addresses, conversations, and presentations will be a part of what I call a necessity to focus on both the systemic and the individual. Y'all with me? We're going to focus on what? The systemic and the individual. Now, why the systemic? There's no question that there are social forces and environmental circumstances that continue to make us a population at risk. That's true. And as a psychologist, I understand, even if I can help somebody be less depressed, less anxious, less angry, less guilty, right? Less anxiety provoked in the midst of all this craziness we got going on, to bring them to some level of health and healing, all I've done is help them to feel better and then still sent them out to an environment and the toxicity that wound them up in my office in the first place. So we got to be able to do something different. We got to talk about both individual and systemic places. But I need us to avoid settling into a mindset of inertia that somehow convinces us that our condition is one of stasis and cannot be changed. So this year's Empowerment Summit is about fundamental behavior change. I don't want you to be just impressed with John Hope Bryant, one of my heroes. I don't want you to just be impressed with this bad Sister Karen Bass. I don't want you to just be impressed with the workshops that you'll see all throughout the day. If you come here, get impressed, and go back home and keep doing the same thing you were doing before we came, we waste our time. Anybody got time to waste? No. Anybody got time to waste? No. So we got to do something different. So as we look at the political, the economic, the social, all those things are important. But what I want to do is remind us that speaking at this year's summit is an important asset as we think about even being in education. Somewhere I learned about educational institutions, so I'm glad this summit is on a campus of the California State University system. And we are very unapologetic about our diversity here. We got 91% students of color up in this. 91. And yes, we got letters from Craig Traynor and the Civil Rights Division, in quote, of the Department of Education in the Trump administration. Yes, we got letters. I got one from the Attorney General talking about how dare you discriminate against whites and Asians, Parham, and how dare you put these affinity centers in with Black and Latino and Asian and underrepresented and undocumented folk. How dare you have an immigrant justice center? Remember Grandma? Grandma used to say, it's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. I haven't answered those letters yet. You ever heard of can't stop, won't stop? Frantz Fanon was clear. He said, chance never satisfies the hope of a suffering people. But he said each generation out of relative obscurity must reach out and seek to fulfill its legacy or betray it. I ain't trying to betray a legacy up in here because somebody don't like that we love diversity. The problem is not that you got an opinion about diversity. The problem is that I give a damn about what you think in the first place. We're going to be strong up here in our work, and we got to be that strong as a community. As I close, I want to reflect on the notion that we as black men and women, as people of color, as people of humanity, are not disposable capital. But if we look at all these things, education institutions, there's something wrong with a school system or even a university that leaves our kids strangers to themselves, aliens to their culture, oblivious to their condition, and inhuman to people who want to oppress them. Something wrong with that. So we're trying to do something different up in here. But if we confine our focus to external variables alone, it means that somehow we've convinced ourselves that we have no part to play in our own empowerment and recovery. Rising up. Rising up. Everybody say that with me. Rising up. One more time. Rising up is about trying to engage in some individual self-determined activity that allow you to move beyond the shackles of conceptual incarceration that got your mind locked in the way things have always been rather than the way things might be. So I want you to know, as we think about this summit, and I thank you for being in this particular place, this is your California State University, Dominguez Hills. And yes, I have announced my retirement back in April that I'll be leaving as of December 31st of 2025. But brother been at this a long time. I know black don't crack, but brother been up here a long time. But I want you to know, you remember the ancestors that built the pyramids and the temples and the tombs that still stand? See, I follow that formula. How come we got buildings 50 years old breaking down and we got to implode them, but we got pyramids 5,000 years old and people still can't figure out how they did it? Temples and tombs, they still can't figure out how they did it. And every 20 years, there's a new movie coming out about some space aliens or something came down because they still ain't ready to recognize the genius of black folk. I ain't with that. But I mention that to you as I prepare to take my seat, because for those who understood the ancients and the folk in Kemet, they built for eternity. And they had a very simple formula. Y'all with me? They had excellent preparation and construction on one hand, and an aspiration to harmonize with divine intent on the other. What we've done at your Cal State University, Dominguez Hills, is put a level of excellence in our preparation and construction, and an aspiration to harmonize with divine intent. We come to serve, not to be served. So know that even as Parham takes his leave and goes into retirement, I'm gonna hang out with my wife and just be in love and hang out. I'm gonna travel a little bit, play some golf. I'm gonna write some books. I'm gonna still be a voice in the community. But y'all remember, I ain't nothing but a regular brother from round the way. I'm gonna still be round the way. I'm gonna still be here. But we're gonna keep on building for eternity at your Cal State University, Dominguez Hills. Welcome to Rise Up and the 2025 Empowerment Summit. God bless.
So my brother is here, everybody. My brother, he's going to be introducing and also sitting down, having a sit-down conversation with John Hope Bryant. You've heard his voice on KJLH for the past 36 years, spreading the message of the gospel and spreading the word every Sunday afternoon as well. My dear brother is here. You heard his name earlier. Mr. Andre Russell.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Brothers, how you feeling? And ladies too, good morning and welcome today. As Andre said, we got we got a dynamic speaker that's going to come up here and share some information with you. Ladies and gentlemen, this brother is, are you ready to learn this morning? If you're ready to learn, say yeah. Are you ready to understand how to make more money? Say yeah. If you're ready to leave here smarter than you came, say oh yeah. This brother is a bad man. I don't know if you've heard him before, but he's going to rise up with you this morning, share some knowledge, and inspire you like never before. Ladies and gentlemen, please clap your hands as the KJLH Men's Empowerment Summit is so proud to welcome Mr. John Hope Bryant.
Let's welcome a leader who has redefined possibility by transforming obstacles into stepping stones and building bridges to prosperity. Born in Los Angeles and rising from humble beginnings, John Hope Bryant has dedicated his life to empowering communities, channeling over $4.2 billion in capital into places where hope once ran low. In addition to founding, chairing, and leading Operation Hope Incorporated as its CEO, he has also served as a trusted advisor to U.S. presidents, working across party lines to enshrine financial literacy as a national priority. His work has turned financial education into a powerful engine for personal and community empowerment. John Hope Bryant's vision is bold yet practical. True leadership means creating opportunities for the next generation, inspiring them to dream bigger, work smarter, and lead with purpose. His words spark movements, his ideas reshape policies, and his relentless drive continues to light the way for aspiring leaders everywhere. A transformative force in economic empowerment and financial inclusion, John Hope Bryant.
How many of you guys have seen this brother speak before? How many of you are excited to see this brother speak today? He's coming with some real knowledge. We were talking backstage, and I was just so impressed with what he was talking about. John, right off the bat, I got to ask you this, man. Good morning to you. You said in the back, we're in our third reconstruction. Tell the folks what you mean by that.
First of all, honor to God. And I'm so honored to be here. This is the campus that I used to drive by. I lived in Compton, California. And in Compton, this was high cotton. You didn't just roll up into Carson. And Cal State Dominguez Hills was like going to heaven. And the only time I remember sort of even being close to the campus is I had a 1967 Mustang hardtop, and I had a fake mobile phone inside from Radio Shack. Don't act like you know what I'm talking about. It was the receiver and the cord. And the cord was stuck under the dashboard because I had a girl on the side I was trying to impress. I had the little antenna stuck on the back. Come on now. It was important to look good even though I wasn't doing good, so I had these white wall retread tires. And it was summer. And I was on the 405 freeway heading south, rolling, and I was passing Cal State Dominguez Hills, talking all kind of mess to the lady, and I'm leaned over, because you didn't want to lean this way because the cord might come out. And so I was leaned over, and I was like, boop, 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 boop. And all four retreads came off at the same time. And it was too hot outside, and it all came off. And then as I leaned to try to recover, the cord came out from under the dashboard, hit her in the head. Needless to say, that date didn't work out so well. But I remember it. And that's as close as I got to Cal State Dominguez Hills. So it's a real honor to be here today. Yeah. And you got a black president. We take this stuff for granted. I think we take Stevie Wonder for granted. That's a living legend in the world. Where is he? Give him some love.
Yeah.
Yes. That is the reason we have Martin Luther King's holiday. He is the reason. Coretta Scott King, the King family had to come to him. And in the Reagan administration, that was signed into law. Over the round and through it, you got to get to it, just ignore the noise. Just ignore the noise, it don't really matter. I walk through life consciously oblivious of most things around me because it just doesn't matter. Stevie Wonder is, he's like the creative musical version of Nelson Mandela. And this station is his bugle horn for justice, and not just us. So you asked the question about the third Reconstruction. Honored to be here with you, brother.
Right, right. You said the third Reconstruction is happening right now.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So we're sitting in a moment in history right now. But history does not feel historic when you're sitting in it. It just feels like another day. But that does not mean the moment is not historic. A friend of Stevie and mine, more Stevie than mine, since gone, been promoted, gone to heaven, Quincy Jones, would say that it takes 20 years to change a culture. In the last 20 years, we've made dumb sexy. We've dumbed down and celebrated it. It's time now to make smart sexy again. I'm gonna give you a prediction. The geeks, the techies, the so-called boring dudes, all of them coming back in vogue. They got a job, they got education, they got a 401k, they got good credit. You cool as I don't know what. You go to the club tonight, today's Saturday, yeah, you go to the club tonight, oh, she's fine, oh, he's handsome. What's your credit score? I'm only partly kidding. Because after the looks fall away and the body drops, that's your partner for life. That's your business partner for life. So there's a whole deal, there's a whole shift happening in the world, but also has to happen with us. And the first thing to understand, to give people reason for the season so that they become all that God has intended them to be, is to answer your question about the third Reconstruction so people know when I say this is a moment in history what that means. So the first Reconstruction was the fields of freedom. That was the Civil War. 1865, January 1865, you had Field Action 15, that was 40 acres, Savannah, Georgia. Secretary of War, General Stanton, 20 black ministers said, they said, what do you want after freedom? They said, we don't want a welfare, we want land, we want to do for ourselves. The next month, they gave them land along the eastern coast. It was North Carolina, South Carolina, all the way down to Florida on the beach. Great property now, not back then. That was an agricultural age. You put seeds in your land on the beach. You wake up tomorrow, your crops in Jamaica. So it wasn't great land. We worked that land so hard. In a month, they said, my God, they're so industrious, give them a mule. 40 acres and a mule. That was January, February 1865. Not 2 years, 1 month. Then the next month, Lincoln signed the Freedmen's Bureau Act, which created HBCU, well, what we now know as HBCUs, land-grant universities, colleges, hospitals, so on, infrastructure, Freedmen's Bureau, and then the Freedmen's Bank, chartered to teach free slaves about money, financial literacy, 1865. Then he promised blacks the right to vote. He got happy, and Booth said, oh, that's a bridge too far. You won't live to give another speech. January, the land, February, the mule, March, the bank, April, he was assassinated. Same year. Reconstruction, the war ends, Reconstruction's been triggered already. So folks are leaning into their freedom. Senators like Bradford, senators, congressmen, business owners, banks, it's all cropping up. We're moving. Folks said that's too much freedom. And so within 2 years of Reconstruction, here comes the pushback. And that ended in 1874 with Frederick Douglass, and the Freedmen's Bank closed on his watch as he was the last president. So now let's jump 100 years to 1958. Here comes a young man named Martin Luther King Jr., who, by the way, was born Michael King. They named his daddy changed his name. They went to go to Germany. They went to study Martin Luther from the Bible. His daddy wanted him to live up to great promise, renamed him Michael King to Martin Luther King Jr., and didn't he live up to that name? This is what God, my driver's here is my friend Arthur. Where's Arthur? Where you at? Right here. Yeah, Arthur's here. I'm gonna tell you about Arthur in a minute, but he was telling me on the way here, I was asking about how his business was. I sort of inspired him to start his business. He was a driver for Kerry, and now he's a driver for himself. He owns his own business, and he's got so many customers, he barely has time for me. But we're on our way down here, and he said, what God has for you, the door that God opens, no one can close. But the door that God closes, no one can open. And it's so important because here comes 1958, Michael King, renamed Martin King for this, who knows, as a kid, who comes this movement right in underneath him. It was an accidental speaker that set off the Montgomery bus boycott. That was not intentional. They gave it to him because everybody else had their seat. They're like, give it to the kid, it's not gonna last long. Ambassador Andrew Young would say, coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. You wanna make God laugh, tell him your plan. Am I going too fast for you? I'm trying to get you to understand the moment. So, because God understands your greatness even if you don't. By the way, black is the only color that includes every other color. Black is the only color that includes every other. Why are you insecure? Why are we tripping? Is this somebody that's going right over your heads? It's fine, you'll get it later. Somebody pass out coffee. So here now, second Reconstruction. So here you have Kennedy, who was sort of not really all that convinced. He wasn't focused on, then you had Johnson. I think the third honorary president, here comes King. They were so effective, the reaction to Kennedy and Johnson and King was Nixon. Did that just go right over your head? Obama? So affirmative action created for blacks gets codified by Nixon and given to white women. By the way, I'm glad they got it. I'm glad somebody got it. White women, a woman in 1972, a white woman, a black woman, a Latina woman, an Asian woman, Indian woman, a woman in 1972, not 1872, 1972 could not get a bank account. Could not get a loan unless her husband co-signed it. 1972. That means our mothers. Because of us, they gave that opportunity to women. Women today are a third of the US economy, $8 trillion of GDP. Yes. And without that, we'd be a third world country today. Without women given an opportunity to live their best lives, we'd be a second-tier nation. There's never been a world power that wasn't the economic power at the same time in the history of the world. So we are the economic power, we're the superpower, but those two things go together. Women, $8 trillion of GDP a year out of 30 trillion is the reason that we are diversity and inclusion, is the reason for this season. Now, I'm coming. So they killed King, but they didn't kill the dream. King gets killed April 4th, 1968. Lincoln's killed April 8th, 1865. Same month, give or take, 100 years later, first Reconstruction, freedom, fields to freedom. Second Reconstruction, freedom to factories. About access to the voting booth, access to a building, access to a job, access to education, access. Basically, Dr. King was assassinated, taking down a whites only sign. And the reason that happened was my mentor, the last living lieutenant for Dr. King, Andrew J. Young, the only man who was an aide to Dr. King, the last one still alive today, who took Dr. King's business plan, went in, became mayor of a city, created Black Wakanda, Atlanta, Georgia, as the only international city in the South, the biggest economy in the South, $580 billion, bigger than Singapore, the city of Atlanta, the only Black city of its kind in the world, committed to all of us, inclusion, not exclusion. Diversity is the business airport in the world. That's Andrew Young, still alive today. Because Dr. King said, right before he was assassinated, he said, I'm here to redeem the soul of America from the triple evils of war, racism, and poverty. By the way, don't worry, my answers to your other questions will be much shorter. Go ahead. We okay? I just think we got to lay this foundation. So Dr. King didn't say, I'm here to save Black people. He said, I'm here to redeem the soul of America from the triple evils of war, racism, and poverty. You're not hurting me, you're hurting you. You're hitting your face on my fist. You can take no pleasure from the fact there's a hole in my end of our boat. The ship is sinking, you picking drapes. You can't have freedom without us. The Civil War was really about bad capitalism, free labor, slavery, and those coming in the northern states were moving to industrialization, the Industrial Revolution. So the new immigrants came in, looked south and said, I'm not Black, but why test my luck? Went north. They start focusing on the new economy. The new economy is running away with growth. The old economy is dying out based on the old business plan of bad capitalism. The South is basically triggered the civil rights, the Civil War, to resist Northern economic domination. It was, slavery is about money. Civil War is about money. Where we are now is about money. I'm getting out ahead of myself. So Dr. King, what did he do? He shut down an economy in the civil rights movement. The Montgomery bus boycott, that was a for-profit bus company. Our dollar was green, but we had to go to the back of the bus. So he said, no, that's cool. I'm not gonna argue with you. You don't want me there? I don't wanna be there. So we created Uber. Some of y'all lost. You don't know. Uber and Lyft was created in 1958. He said, no, that's cool. Andy, tell you what, look, let's get some cars hooked up. We'll do some black taxis. We just gonna drive each other around. They don't want us there? It's cool. Because we were the majority population in those towns. He said, to argue with a fool proves there are two. I'm giving y'all some good stuff. I hope you write it down. I got no notes, I'm just riffing. Don't ask me whether to repeat myself, I can't. So we exited the bus, kindly, respectfully, got in our black taxis. By the way, we need to bring rent parties back. Somebody, you know what a rent party was? Somebody had some problem with some rent, you know what I'm saying? They'd hold the party, we show up $10 each to get in, you know what I'm saying? And they get to pay their rent, right? And then somebody else doing a rent party next month, and we show up to their house, right? Party with a purpose. So we exited the situation. We went and got our own transportation, kept our money in our pocket. After about 6 weeks, the bus company like, can we talk? So Dr. King, here's a critical, Steve and I were talking backstage about sometimes we talk too much. You don't need to say everything. Talk without being offensive, listen without being defensive, always leave even your adversary with their dignity, because if you don't, they'll spend the rest of their life working to make you miserable. It becomes personal. Step over mess and not in it. Again, not 1 ounce of my self-esteem depends on your acceptance of me. It's okay if you don't like me, I like me. So I don't need to argue with you about stupid stuff. If you want to argue, talk to yourself. So he said, Andy, he called him Ambassador Young. Andy, tell you what, it's been 6 weeks. They're hurting. I want you to take the overalls off, put on a business suit. I want you to go after the sun goes down, 6 p.m., go meet with 100 business leaders in town, behind closed doors. Don't embarrass them. Cut a deal. Get the whites only signs down. That's what Andrew Young did. By the way, that was his role. Dr. King never wanted Andrew Young arrested, ever. People clown him. You weren't never arrested. Like that's a badge of honor. Dr. King needed him as a negotiator, the ambassador, literally the ambassador. And he got that deal cut every place he went. Dr. King set it up, Andrew Young paid it off. So they got the whites only signs down, not only on the bus, but at the lunch counter, which was privately owned also, through economic understanding of the situation. And that's not getting emotional. By the way, Dr. King would never march before 10 or after 3. He needed the New York Times, ABC, there was only 3 networks, ABC, NBC, CBS, and the New York Times. He needed the reporters not to be cranky, give them breakfast in the morning. And after 3, he needed them on a plane going to New York, because that film had to be processed for 6 o'clock news. He was a master marketer. And thinking, as my boy Rod McGrew would say, think 3 times, act once. So now I'm gonna answer your question. Third Reconstruction. Fast forward now to 2020. The world's not had a pandemic, a global pandemic, since the Spanish flu 130 years ago. It's never happened in America, ever, and it's only happened in Spain. What's the chances? What's the chances? I think this is all God. God didn't make the deaths happen. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it was a Noah's Ark moment. I think the whole economy shut down. Here comes George Floyd. If that had happened at any other time, it'd have been, hey, baby, how was work? Oh, it's great. My boss irritated me. Oh, it's okay. Give me a kiss. Okay. What's for dinner? How's the kids? Okay. There was something on the news about somebody got hurt and I think murdered in Minneapolis. It was really sad. Okay, we got to get the kids down. On to the next. Yes or no? Yes. And it only been black people paying attention because of the pandemic. And everybody's watching the news. Black people and white people, Jews and Gentiles, rich and poor, Republicans and Democrats, conservatives and liberals. We all watched the news at the very same time and saw the very same thing, a public lynching. And everybody said that's wrong. Here comes a 400-year delayed social justice reckoning for black America. Here comes the private sector committing $100 billion to us for our uplift. If you were black in 2021, if you were black and sitting at a bus stop and you could breathe, somebody would give you a job, a contract, or a check, yes or no? And we took it all out for granted. Oh, we good. No, you better straighten up. This moment's not gonna last. And within 2 years of that, pushback. Have I lost you? You're in the third Reconstruction. But now it's not about the streets, it's about the suites. The C-suites. It's not about marching in the suites. It's not about doing this. It's about doing this. You got to solve this problem from the shoulders up. You got to make smart sexy again. We got to own something. You got to go from rocking the mic to owning the mic. Don't go to the club unless you own the club. If your day is not about God or love, your day is about money. Challenge me on that. You can't even sleep. What, light bill, air conditioning bill, phone bill, help me out here. The government didn't give you your iPhone to wake you up. You bought that. The sheets on your bed, the government didn't give you government-issued sheets. This is not China or Russia. You bought those sheets. Am I talking to myself? Gas at the gas station. Help me out here. Food in the refrigerator. Fast food. By the way, fast food restaurants, that drive-through situation, I can't prove this. I love math because it doesn't have an opinion. This is one thing I can't prove. But we know that in the 60s and the 50s, if you were black, you got your food from the side of the restaurant or the back through a window. Drive-thrus all around the world, we didn't get a patent on it. We didn't get a check, we ain't got nothing. Whatever's going on in your day, if it's not about God or love, it's about money. But we don't understand money. I think that financial literacy is a civil rights issue of this generation. Nothing changes your life more than God or love than moving your credit score 120 points. There are no ugly billionaires. Remember when Mariah Carey hooked up with that dude? He was all jacked up looking. He's like, oh, he's a billionaire. Oh, I understand. There are no unattractive multimillionaires. I mean, we're having a real conversation or not? I mean, you can be a thousandaire and be hooked up. We are looking for love in all the wrong places. We are distracted. What did Malcolm X say? We've been bamboozled. We've been tricked. We've been fooled. We've been hoodwinked. We've been run amok. So in the midst of the third Reconstruction, get all this money coming to us, which, by the way, we did not go access. We did not go from the streets to the suites and try to cut a business deal, a proper one. That then flips, and all of a sudden, it goes from awoke to sleep, and all of a sudden, we're under attack, pushback, and we're surprised. Why are you surprised? Can I go further? We okay? Let me explain something. Let me explain something. That was improper English on purpose. You are a threat. No, I don't mean that in an aggressive way. This is not me pumping I'm not talking about black power, I'm talking about green power. By the way, you're not black for a living. You can't be black for a living anymore. You got to be a great leader who happens to be black. And you can and you will. But let me make this clear. In 1952, America was 90% white. I'm going to slow this down and repeat it. I don't think that hits you right. In the second Reconstruction, not 1852, in 1952, America was 90, don't trust a thing I'm saying. You got that phone in your hand, use it to be smart. It's a smartphone. Check everything out I'm saying. America was 92% Caucasian. That means what Andrew Young, Dr. King, Coretta Scott King, Dr. Dorothy Height, what these heroes and sheroes did with the civil rights movement, the second Reconstruction, was nothing less than genius. What Stevie Wonder did with that holiday, nothing less than genius. It's a moral calling. America today is 40% black and brown. Within 2 years, it'll be a majority of minorities. We're the biggest economy in the world, $30 trillion. 70% based on consumer spending. %40 of the 70% is us.
Come on, John. Come on.
For the first time in history, you got more people over 65 than under age 18. Under age 18 looks like us. Over 65 is basically white, wealthy, trying to retire and go play golf all at the same time. I'm joking, but I'm serious. That's $100 trillion of wealth that's going to transfer in the next 10 years. You're getting ahead of me. When the transfer happens, somebody wants the stocks, the bonds, the cash, the homes, the liquid assets. They don't want the businesses. It's too much work. These are successful, profitable, cash flowing, asset having businesses with no succession plan. 15 trillion of them, $15 trillion worth of businesses. And what are we arguing about? But I'm getting ahead of myself. 70% of the economy is consumer spending. 70% of Americans are living from paycheck to paycheck. Too much month at the end of their money. When black folks have a headache, when white folks have a headache, black folks have pneumonia. Just to make this plain, if you're making, half of those making $100,000 a year are living from paycheck to paycheck today. A third of those making $250,000 a year are living from paycheck to paycheck today. You live in New York City, make $100,000, it feels like $37,000. Can I get an amen? Somebody's been to New York. That's not black economics, that's not white economics, that's economics. What's happening with this election? What happened with the election? You got basically the largest group of poverty in this country are poor whites. I don't know if you knew that. It's the same as in the Second Reconstruction, same when Dr. King was alive. That's why he hit the Poor People's Campaign, which included poor whites. And because he was talking about a redistribution of wealth, not the creation of wealth, somebody said, you're not going to make your first march to Washington, D.C. And he didn't. They killed him in Memphis. Why is what I just said is important? In 1960s, if you were white with a high school education, you had a pickup truck, a house, a good job, and a vacation. That walked away from them. The Industrial Revolution walked away from them. Nobody taught them about the technology age. Those little towns began to drift and to get poorer and poorer and poorer. And for 70 years, they didn't have a business plan. Now they got a spokesman. And they're rioting at the ballot box. We're emotional. We riot in the streets. They riot at the ballot box. Now, somebody's saying, John, how can you relate to their deal to mine? Okay, let me see if I can bring this home. So I like math, doesn't have an opinion. I broke this down by credit scores. Everybody's going this way, I go this way. Race, politics, again, noise, distractions. Hold on a minute. So I mapped every zip code in America by credit score, every one. I found it remarkably accurate. If you live in a 500 credit score neighborhood, you live to 61 years of age. You live in a 700 credit score neighborhood, 15 minutes apart on average in America, you live to 81 years of age. 20-year difference, 15 minutes apart. Now you say, okay, John, what do I care? Because of this. Our neighborhoods, now you tell me if I'm wrong. Here's what you see in a 500 credit score neighborhood. A check casher. Slow down. Every rap has a rhythm. A check casher next to a payday loan lender, next to a rent-to-own store, next to a title lender, next to a liquor store, next to a pawn shop, and a church down the street trying to make you feel a little bit better once a week so you don't go postal on Monday. I go to black people and I say, look, I think we depressed. I'm not depressed. I just don't feel good. Okay, whatever. Okay, whatever. Okay, to rationalize is to tell rational lies. But okay, you should go see a therapist. I don't want to go see a therapist. Somebody might think I'm crazy. If you black in America today and don't think you crazy, you crazy. So we used to go to church. Excuse me, our dumbasses are now not going to church. Our secret weapon is spirituality. I just told you all colors, the only color that includes every other color is black. You are God's agent. We're not human beings having a spiritual experience. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. Energy matters. Energy matters. So we've walked away from our core strength. We think this, excuse me, this is just friend. We think this shit's normal. Check casher, payday loan lender, rent-to-own store, title lender, liquor store, fried chicken shack. Okay, fried chicken's okay. Thank you. My wife's a wellness coach. That diet was a slave diet. The man would throw out the back door scraps out of disrespect. We turned it, when you bring around out of town, get in front of the crowd, make like a parade, we turned a negative into a positive. Hog maws, pig's feet, greens, chicken, fried chicken. We put salt on everything so it didn't get, the sun didn't make it go bad, but that salt's now causing hypertension, high blood pressure. We're dropping dead. Look, eat soul food once a month, not 3 times a day. You're not fat, you're inflamed. I'm dead serious. We're not fat, we're inflamed. The processed food is inflaming us. The depression is inflaming us. The toxicity is inflaming us. The survival mindset is inflaming us. And now the problem is black on black crime. Because if I don't like me, I'm not going to like you. If I don't feel good about me, I'm not going to feel good about you. If I don't respect me, how do I ever respect you? If I don't love me, how do I have a clue how to love you? And here's a big one. If I don't have a purpose in my life, I'm going to make your life a living hell. Because whatever goes around, you know Stevie's built right because he came out here and said, I love you. I don't want nobody to have, even the guy who got murdered, like I don't disagree with him, I don't want him murdered. That's exactly the right way. What did Dr. King said? He said, evil has within it the seeds of its own destruction. You don't want to be playing with none of that. God is still on the throne. God made this world of light. Darkness is defined by light, not the other way around. Badness has failed goodness. Am I talking to myself? So, 500 credit score neighbors. You guys thought I lost where I was. And I said, white, same thing. Now, let's go to a white, poor, rural town. Check casher, payday loan lender, rent-to-own store, title lender, liquor store, pawn shop, church. Prove me wrong. They got the same problem. We don't have time for this conversation. I mean, I would love to unpack this whole situation. Like, we have been arguing over stupid stuff. Do you know that white, the racial word white, is completely made up? The world's 5 billion years old. Organism life 4 billion years old. Neanderthal life 200 million years old. Modern stand-up man, women 160, 200,000 years old. Enlightenment 6,000 years ago. 6,000 years ago. Jesus Christ basically 3,000 years ago, right? So, but the racial word white 1629 in North America, in Virginia. Real talk. Black people and white people were indentured servants. It was economic. Trading company had us working. I'm gonna let you ask another question, I promise you. Am I okay? I promise you I'm gonna shut up. You know, you never wanna be the old guy in the club. So before y'all kick me out, I'm gonna leave. But I'm so excited I'm so passionate about you. I want you to be armed with what you need to win. So please excuse me if I'm going long. Okay? I just want you to get the noise out of your head. 1629, 1649, okay? Blacks and whites, they're like, I don't like these conditions. They are friends. They run away with each other. By the way, again, don't believe me. Check it out for yourself. You got the phone right in front of you. Use AI for something other than sports results. They go run away. They get caught. The overseer comes back and says, boss, we got a problem. They're getting along. The poor people have figured this out. Boss says, well, what's the problem with that? We're still in charge. Boss, we can have a race riot. We cannot have a class riot because we're the class. What's the solution? I got an idea. Poor white guy, come here. You know you white like us, right? Oh, I never thought about that. You white like us. So tell you what, you can't do this again. I'm gonna give you two more years of indentured servitude, right? So you can't do this again. But I'm putting you in charge of the black people. Black guy, come over here. You know you can't do this ever again. You got life. That was literally the beginning of slavery. White guy, come back. You work hard enough, I'll let you buy this guy. President Bill Clinton once told me something so brilliant. It's hard to get somebody to agree to the truth when the lie is paying their paycheck. Want me to say it again? It's hard to get somebody to agree to the truth when the lie is paying their paycheck. They were friends, whatever that meant. So that's when this happened. And we've been arguing about this stupid stuff. Why are black people dark? Because Africa's hot. The sun's direct, sub-Saharan Africa. In fact, we tan compared to Africans. We're all African. Everybody's African, by the way. But anyway, so sun's direct. Why is the hair kinky? Because the softest part of your body is over your brain. Your brain cooks, you're done. God knew exactly what he was doing. Heat goes, he dispenses and goes away, right? Why is the nose wide? To cool the air before it goes into your lungs. Why are the lips big? I don't know, but everybody wants them. You go to North Africa. Keep going on to North Africa, Morocco, lighter skin, olive skin, curly hair. That's the kink uncurling over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, maybe even millions. You drop over that Mediterranean, a piece of water. Here's South France, southern Italy, Spain, Mediterranean. Those are black people. I'm sorry. They're olive skin, lighter curls that even like more furrowed out. Central Europe, okay, now you have Caucasian people. But if you go to the Nordic countries, they make the Europeans look dark. I'm in Norway with the Crown Prince. I go, why are you here? The security control. Why are you here? I'm here to see the Crown Prince. One more time. Why are you here? I'm a guest of the Crown Prince. Where are you staying? At the Crown Prince's residence. Come over to this room. So security comes get me to the Crown Prince. We're so sorry. They didn't recognize who you were. Get in the car. It's December in Norway. You know, I'm so sorry this happened to you. We really like you here. Would you like to go scuba diving with us tomorrow? You out your mind? It's December. I'm cold now. I got on 3 sweaters, a parka, 3 jackets. She's got on short pants and flip-flops. Her skin is perfect for cold weather. Her nose is narrow to heat the air before it goes into her lungs. Her hair is long so her ears don't get cold. What are we arguing about? I want you to get paid. I want you to build wealth. I want you to become a homeowner. The number one way you build wealth in America is home ownership. I want you to start a business. That's what Stevie Wonder is. I want you to own some stocks. I want you to understand this is your time. But you can't do it broke. If you hang around 9 broke people, you'll be the 10th. I'm done with the first question.
How about it for this brother, huh? Now listen, you'll have a chance to ask John questions or make comments, so we're going to hear from the audience in a little bit, okay? So have your questions and your thoughts together. John, question, brother. First of all, how many fathers do we have in the audience? How many of you have kids? All right, John, what?
So, wait, hold on. That wasn't baby daddy. That wasn't baby daddy. That was a father. Let's knock this stuff off. Baby daddy, baby mama. How does a kid feel about that? You're a mother and you're a father. God bless you. That's beautiful.
So, John, what would you tell fathers and tell them to teach their sons and daughters about money?
This is as important as the right to vote. In Atlanta, I'm from LA. I was born here. Moved to Atlanta because of Andrew Young. In Atlanta, first of all, I'm the largest minority owner of single-family rental homes in America. I own 700. So you've heard about my philanthropy. And we've invested $4.8 billion at Operation Hope into our communities, right? And we've made sure that everybody gets the memo on this. And we want to help everybody. In the audience, by the way, my dear friend Rob McGrew, others, but right here, Rachel, I want you to stand up, Rachel. Stand up. Rachel's my chief of staff of 32 years, right? Now, Rachel, her family, when she was working for me, they didn't really understand. She decided she was so committed to what we were doing, she went and bought a house off of La Brea and Rodeo 25 years ago. Her family thought she was absolutely out of her mind. Yes? That house is worth millions today. In our neighborhood. Don't get upset with somebody who's smart enough to see what we don't see. The Klan ain't running us out of our hoods anymore. We can buy like anybody else. My mother bought 7 homes. She worked at McDonnell Douglas Aircraft, made $15, $18 an hour, worked there 32 years, bought and sold 7 homes, one at 15502 South Fraley Avenue, Compton, California, right around the corner. That's where I started my first business, by the way, out of her den. And I could have done that in her apartment. I could have done that in someplace she rented because somebody else is making the rules. My mother says, I'm the landlord. She also charged me interest on the money she loaned me to start the business. But, straight up capitalist. Juanita Smith, she died a millionaire 2 years ago, working an hourly job. This is not complicated. This is not complicated. This is about being focused, right? So what was your question again?
What do you tell these fathers to tell their sons and daughters about money?
So we have a Hope Child Savings account that we created for every kid in kindergarten in Atlanta because I had the support of the city council. I know you got the mayor coming here, Mayor Bass. Maybe she can do this here. The city council, Mayor Dickens, all of them are aligned. We want to have child savings accounts at kindergarten. Now somebody goes, oh, that's sweet. That's not. No. Studies have shown you created a bank account for a kid in kindergarten. they're 25% more likely because of that one act to go to college. You put $200 in that account over time, they're 75% more likely to graduate from college because you're connecting education with aspiration. You're plugging the socket back into the wall about success. So we now have 10,500 accounts for every kid in kindergarten, Hope Child Savings accounts in Atlanta. You can't start early enough. When I was 4 or 5 years old, my mom and dad fought over money on Santa Barbara, which was now Martin Luther King Boulevard. We owned a gas station at Vernon and Western Southeast corner. Anybody know that gas station? We owned that. We owned a home on Martin Luther King. We owned an 8-unit apartment building we bought for $18,000. 8-unit apartment building that we bought for $18,000. It's worth millions today. We lost it. We owned a cement contracting business. My dad did it with his own hands. We had our own home. We were balling. But my dad was financially illiterate. So the more money he made, the broker he got. He'd make $1, spend $1.50. He thought cash was king. Please, everybody, teach your children, teach yourself. Cash ain't nothing. What do we say? I want to get that bag. I want to get that dollar. I want to get that cash. It's useless. All that is an exchange of value. You make money during the day, you build wealth in your sleep. You make money during the day, it's called making a living. They say it right in front of you. It's making a living. They're exchanging a paycheck, exchanging that for enough value for the work you're doing, so you live today, but you can't live forever. You build wealth in your sleep. Home ownership, stocks, bonds, real estate, businesses, things that compound. So my dad and my mother was a financial genius. She was the investor. They should have worked together. So here's what you need to do. The first thing you tell your child, have good relationships. First one is with yourself, love yourself. Then who you hang around, make that sure that you're equally yoked, you're the same frequency. A giver and a giver, exotic. A giver and a taker, neurotic. A taker and a taker, psychotic. What most of our relationships are neurotic. The giver and the taker. We don't even notice it. Somebody's giving, somebody's taking. I don't know about you, I can do bad all by myself. I don't need help. Quincy Jones once told me, he said, the only thing worse than being alone is wishing that you were. So I make sure all my relationships are exotic. Givers, my environment. Make sure your children hear, I love you. I love you, you little nappy head kid, won't do what I say. You screwed up today, you future dentist. You messed up today. I'm really disappointed in you, you future entrepreneur. They're listening to you. They model what they see and hear, right? Watch how you live your life. It may be the only Bible anybody else reads. So my mom and dad fought in front of me. I remember it. Domestic abuse. Number one cause for divorce, money. Number one cause for domestic abuse, money. Number one cause for heart attacks, stress. Number one cause for stress, money. So they divorced, and my mother, this is a community property state, California. My mother, she had 3 children. She could have cleaned this clock, took everything. She said, I need a clear head. She takes her kids and moves into a girlfriend's spare bedroom, leaves my dad with all the assets. Now hold on to that, because he looks like he's winning. I go live with my mother's girlfriend. She said it was my auntie. You know, black people do that. So the OC, the boyfriend of the girlfriend, I'm on the porch, I'm falling down, I'm swallowing my throat. I'm swallowing my tongue, I'm choking. He clears my throat. I'm giving you the short version of this story. And I'm dying. He saves my life, so he's my hero. I'm waiting for him to come home every day. In order to take care of his family and mine, he needed some extra money. What he should have done was had a family meeting with my family and his. Hey, I can't take care of all these bills. Can you contribute? My mother would have said yes. By the way, this is what Spanish people do. This is what Koreans do. This is what other people do, right? But what Ambassador Young said, in America, men and women fail for 3 reasons: arrogance, pride, and greed. My dad was arrogant and prideful. This guy, OC, was full of pride. So he had a regular job, but he had to make some extra money. So we went around the corner to sell some marijuana. The real dudes who sold marijuana didn't appreciate that. So they waited for him on his bicycle to ride in front of the house that he lived in, that we lived in, his house. I'm sitting on the porch waiting for my hero, saved my life, to show up. OC, where is he? I see the bike coming down the street. Pickup truck, raised, oversized tires, hits him from behind, drags him down the street, mangling him and the bike until he was dead. That was the drug dealers, protecting their turf. Now, beyond the fact that that's not your dang on corner, that's a city's corner, which makes this even more ridiculous. That was a black man killing a black man over stupid stuff. That was about. So I remember that. So my mother saves enough money, thanks her girlfriend for letting us stay there. We moved to Compton and buy that first house. I remember that. That was our house. My dad loses everything, by the way. I ended up taking care of my dad the last 10 years of his life. He lost everything. Everything. My mother, do we have time for this? Yeah. I go to school. I'm going to do this real quick. I go to school. This banker comes, wrap it up. This banker comes in, no, it's okay. It's okay, I don't mind. I tell you, y'all ain't gonna kick me out, I'm gonna kick myself out. This banker comes in my classroom, teaches financial literacy. By the way, happened to be a white banker. He was 6'2", white shirt, red tie, blue, beautiful Italian suit. He comes in from Bank of America. I'm 9 years old. Now, mind you, my experiences, by the way, my best friend had just got murdered next to Tweet, the drug dealer, and he was smarter than me, so I was 9. That happened when I was 9. 7 years old was OC murder. 4 or 5 years old, my family destroyed. Now, I'm 9 years old. This banker comes in teaching us financial literacy. He was forced to come because of the law change. I'm focused. He comes in once a week for 6 weeks. Second week, he didn't want to be there, we didn't want him there. Second week he comes in, he says, you kids are not so bad. You remind me of our kids. I said, well, you're not so bad for a white dude. Building a relationship. Third week he comes in. I'm wearing a suit, my only suit I've got. I asked my mother, can I wear a suit like the banker? I don't have no money to buy you a suit, baby. You can wear the suit I made for you for Sunday, and it was a crushed velvet, 3-piece, purple velour suit with a ruffled shirt and a big bow tie. Still traumatized to this day. But what happens when you put on the uniform? I used to walk like this. I put on the suit. Had my little briefcase in it, filled with my dreams. I'm sitting there. I said, "Excuse me, sir. Fourth week. What do you do for a living? And how'd you get rich legally?" He said, "I'm a banker and I finance entrepreneurs." I said, "Sir, I don't know what an entrepreneur is. I never heard that word my entire life. I'm nosy. I'm 9 years old. I'm nosy. I have no idea what that is." French word. Build something from nothing. Create value. I'm like, oh my God. And you finance them? Yes. Your job is to lend poor people money. Yes. And if I borrow the money and I don't pay it back, I don't get dead. Y'all not from the hood. Because Pookie and them on the back street, they ain't playing. So he said, no, he laughed. It's like, no, why would I kill you? No, I give you a notice of default. I said, you give me a piece of paper? I said, oh, I'm all in, right? I'm all in. So by the end, I said, by the way, are there more people like you? He said, what do you mean? There's got to be millions of bankers in America. There's 10,000 banks. I'm like, wait a minute, and your job? Wait a minute, your job is to loan poor people money. And all I got to do is to prove to you I can pay it back. Yes. Why are my people dying? How do I do this? Credit scores, all this stuff. I mean, My head's just going crazy. Fast forward, I leave him. Now I'm walking down the street. First time I've seen my community. The muffler shops are business. The nail salons are business. The barber shops are business. That's a capitalist. The gas stations are capitalists. The people who take care of me, the nursery, they weren't doing it for free. They paid. My mother paid for that. That's a business. That's a capitalist. Am I talking to myself? My head is exploding. It's all around me. I go to the liquor store, Mac's liquor store, black man, 6'2". I walk in, Mr. Mac. Yes, young man. You're selling the wrong kind of candy. He had a little candy store. Go ahead, little boy. I've got a college degree. I got cavities. And you're not in the right location. I'm on the way to school. You out here on the end of you have no competition. I'm talking all this stuff I learned from the banker. He says, you sound really nice. I'm going to give you a job selling candy in my candy counter. They always want us to be performers. The capitalists always want us to be the performers, irrespective of race. So I said, I don't want to sell your candy. I want to be your partner. I'm 10 now. I didn't know what joint venture meant back then, but I want to be your partner. And he laughed. He said, I'm going to give you a job. I'm going to give you the best job I got. You got gift for gab. I said, I don't want your job. He said, look, you're going to be the star. I don't want to be a 3 square block celebrity. You missed all that. So he said, what do you want? I want to be the box boy. He said, that's the worst job I got. That's what I want. She gets it. I go into the cold box. I'm the guy pushing the inventory front when you go in the cold box to get your drink. But while I'm between pushing the stuff forward, there's boxes there. Inventory. I open it up, there's an inventory list. Wholesale rate, retail rate, markup, what he paid for it, where he bought it. I quit. Went home, got $40 from my mother, went to Irish food store, Smart and Final. They inspired the owners. They gave me free racks. Thought it was a school project. I didn't care. Went home, ate through half the inventory. I hate candy to this day. Sold the other inventory, had enough money to buy some more. Went back and bought some more. I made $300 on a $40 investment in a week, put the liquor store out of the candy business in 6 weeks. Now you tell me what happened to my self-esteem. You tell me what happened to my confidence, my self-esteem, my belief in myself. I was unstoppable. So here's what you need to tell your children. I'm talking, you thought I forgot. I'm talking to this brother, Mike Maples, who is one of the top 10 venture capitalists in Silicon Valley. He's on my board. And I said, Mike, how'd you get in venture capital? And he starts giving me his resume. I said, no, Mike, tell me about how you grew up. So he said, well, my father worked for Microsoft, worked for Bill Gates. I said, well, technically everybody worked for Bill Gates. Like, now what did your daddy do? Well, my dad was in charge of products. Oh, no, come on, man. What did your daddy do? Well, my dad was president of products for Microsoft. I said, no, your dad really did work for Microsoft and Bill Gates. So he was like a lieutenant to Bill Gates. So he starts a business selling, it wasn't candy, I think it was like a newspaper route. So he's had this newspaper route, he's 12 years old. He's successful in his newspaper route. He's gotten the whole region hooked up. So he comes to his daddy one day and says, Daddy, I'm so excited. I'm gonna sell my business to Disney. Now we would think that's great, right? It's not a trick question. I would, yes? Here's what he says. His daddy says, I'm disappointed in you. We don't talk like that in our household. I didn't raise you that way. I didn't raise you to build a business to sell to Disney. I raised you to build a business to buy Disney.
Come on.
That man is now one of the top 10 venture capitalists in the world, Mike Maples. Context matters, role modeling matters, dreaming big matters, mindset matters. Whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're absolutely right. I take no for vitamins. I'm an entrepreneur works 18 hours a day to keep from getting a job. Success is going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. Over to round it through it, I'm going to get to it. I'm telling you, this world can't live. This country, this is how great God is. For the first time in world history, there's never been a superpower that wasn't the economic power at the same time. We're the superpower and then we're the economic power. Never in the history of the world has that superpower required diversity and inclusion to be successful. Now, I told you what the numbers were. Within 10 years, we're going to be a majority of minorities. And we don't have time for AI. AI is going to change everything by 2030. 99% of black folks don't know a thing about AI. 99% of white folks don't know a thing about AI either. It's mutual discrimination. But we got a special sauce. We've been doing so much with so little for so long, we can almost do anything with nothing. Wow. Yeah, folks talking about, my mainstream friends, we're in a crisis. Shit, black people in a crisis every Tuesday. So take that surviving mindset, switch it to a thriving and a building mindset. Become an optimist and infect your children with a limitless possibility brain and connect them with AI. They're using their phone anyway. Get them financial literacy and AI literacy as if it's breathing, like every day, jamming this down their throat. Because by 2030, this country, unless we want to be speaking Mandarin in the next 20 years, this country's going to realize my rich friends need my poor friends to do better if only to stay rich. They actually need black people, brown people, women, minorities. That's why you get all this pushback. Somebody's trying to keep things the way they.
John Hope Bryant up here, y'all. John Hope Bryant. Listen, we have some young folks here, some young men that have a comment or a question for you, John. Young man, stand up. Tell us your name and your age.
Hey, everybody. My name is Chaz Clemens.
Hold on.
Did you guys enjoy this today? Thank you, Stevie.
Check, check, check.
And KJLH. I love you guys.
All right.
Hey, everybody. My name is Chaz Clemens. I'm Chase Clemens, and we're twins. Yes, we started our own business 3 months ago at our gas stations.
They're twins, y'all. They're twins.
Haven't I watched you online? You're
yeah.
online, right?
Yeah, we post
Oh,
on
yeah,
social
watch your
media.
videos.
Really?
They sent me your videos.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we started our own Baker App hot dog stand at our gas stations.
You got lines around the corner.
Yeah, it's
No,
crazy.
not yet. Yes.
Yes.
There you go.
It's in Long Beach, and we also have one in LA. Yup. On MLK. On MLK, near, right down USC. Our question for you is, how do you know when it's the right time to seek investors versus continuing to bootstrap growth?
It's a great question. I have never asked for a loan. I am the capital. You are the capital. So capital comes from the Latin root word capitas, knowledge in the head. Credit comes from the Latin root word credito, credibility. Banking is a trust business. It has nothing to do with money. So you're building trust in clients, community. You've got credibility, and I can tell looking at you, you're nosy, you want knowledge. You're human capital. Human capital. That attracts capital. Keep hustling. The difference between a hustler and a businessman is paperwork. Mm-hmm. So what I want you to do is get your paperwork together, because I've already seen your video, right? So I'm gonna give you a $25,000, 1 MBB, 1 million black business grant. That's gonna give you an e-commerce account with Shopify. It's gonna give you a business plan, a financial coach, credit counseling. We're gonna give you a website if you don't already have one, a domain name. We're gonna give you the supply systems. We're gonna give you delivery systems. We're gonna give you a lawyer for 2 hours, a banker for 2 hours, an accountant for 2 hours. We're gonna wrap an entire team around you, and we're gonna give you an account for Shopify so that you have not only in-person clients, but online clients. That's $25,000. And where Rachel Dobb, see it right here? See, all money is freedom. I have the freedom without talking to anybody. I don't need to go to the government. I don't need to fill out a form. I'm telling you, I'm the founder, chairman, and chief executive officer, and by impressing me with that question and what you did before you got here, which is all the videos that your research assistant a day has showed me 9,000 times, and all the folks at KJLH, I'm honored to give you this grant.
Thank you so much.
Give it up for the twins, 9 years old, right here, ladies and gentlemen. 9 years old. And ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for John Hope Bryant. John Hope Bryant. John Hope Bryant, ladies and gentlemen.